who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, in your glass. So will we.
No, I'm trying to get it. Where I can only, so I can see the chat, but I'm having a hard time trying to. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah, here it goes. I don't think I will have any technical issues because I got everything ready. I just wanted to make sure I can see the delay and the whatchamacallit.
Going to destroy everything. I saw him on Earth. Why would he go to Earth? None of this would happen if I didn't
know. You're in Philly. Can you guys hear me? If you don't know, no one does. Yeah, I don't think I'm not going to have any technical issues. That's why I set up early. I just wanted to make sure that everything we've been running. Now, let me shut my TV off because you're going to be hearing Thor because my mic is very sensitive. I have two other guests supposed to be popping in. I don't know. I sent them the link, so I'm assuming that they're going to come in when they're ready. I don't know where they are. Ah, Madam Raven, thanks for coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have two other guests supposed to be coming on. Actually, supposed to be three. I believe Cecil from the horror show is supposed to be coming by. I have Sassy Gamer Melissa. She's supposed to be stopping by, and another good friend of mine, Alexandra Vaughn. She's supposed to be coming by. I sent them all the links, so I'm just waiting for them to pop up. I'll probably tell them and say, "We're ready to come on. Come on, we're on right now." But I just came on early, so there wouldn't be any. Wanted to make sure there wouldn't be any technical issues because we had two people that had technical issues, and but I seem to don't have any. So I'm just waiting for the Monster Men to go on ahead and run their outro, and then I will go on ahead and start my hour. Yes. Zach, what's up, man? Boom, 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 boom. By the way, here's my Killer Flicks t-shirt. If you don't know about Killer Flicks, it's a horror group on Facebook created by my good friend Lee McCoy from Drum Dums. Definitely, if you want to get into a great group, yeah, join it. Once my guests get here, I was going to talk about, hey, Beth, I was going to talk about the Cloverfield Paradox, the Ritual, talk about Women in Horror Month. Yeah, I had a few questions, but I'm the only one here. My guests have not arrived yet. Yeah, I saw your Friday the 13th, Eric. I'm waiting for part 7 to come up. Melissa, you got to use the link. Try using the link again, Melissa. Oh, there he is.
What up? What up?
Hey, there he is. Cecil from the Horror Show is here.
What up? How's it going today, Monty?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. We actually had a couple of technical difficulties with Lita and the Monster Man, so I had to jump on early before just to make sure I didn't have any problems. But it looks like I'm not having any problems. Then again, I shouldn't have any problems. I do tech support for a living, and I've been doing it for.
You got the cleanest connection I've seen so far. You're looking HD and shit.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm a tech guy. I've been doing tech support for 20 years. I should know what the hell I'm doing.
So if I ever have any issues, I can call you rather than all the call centers over in India.
Oh yeah. You can call me, but the only problem is, unfortunately, see, I have a wife I have to take care of, so I have to charge her.
Fair enough.
First of all, Cecil, I really thank you for doing this for me. I'll just say this: you're one of the first horror channels that I found when I first started watching YouTube channels and reviews. And I was looking at all the channels, and I was not seeing a lot of people do horror movie reviews. So I searched horror, and your channel popped up, and I said, wow, these guys love horror. Because, and I'll tell you about my experience, about my horror experience later on. I have 2 other guests supposed to be coming on, but one of my guests says she can't get into, she can't get Hangouts to accept her. So I'm waiting for her to come on. And I had another guest, but since you're only one here, I guess I think my time is starting now.
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone's rolling.
Okay, all right. So first of all, welcome to my channel. I am the Horror Miser Monty G. I do horror reviews. I do reviews of horror movies, old school horror movies, unboxing videos, and any horror related projects that I can think of. I've been basically watching horror all my life since I was 6 or 7 years old. So I have the distinct advantage because what you actually could call me a baby boom. I was born in the 60s. So I have a distinct advantage of watching all the old school horror pictures before anybody else could.
Nice.
I basically watched horror. I think the first horror movie I watched was the 19 I think it was Universal's Pictures, The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. I seen all the Universal Monster Pictures, and eventually I saw all the Universal Monsters, the Hammer pictures with Peter Cushing and of course Christopher Lee, and that's how I just got into horror.
See, that's really cool. That's obviously that's a classic story for a lot of people, except for myself. These guys know that I am. I just don't have that sort of horror film knowledge. I haven't watched any of those older ones. Like I don't watch really anything pre-70s for some reason. Because I'm just just I know I haven't even watched, I still haven't even watched. I don't think I've only watched
you just since you lost your horror fan card now, you know you have to watch the old school horror.
I know.
First of all, I want to say hi to us. I keep James. Oh boy,
Jaime, you got it.
I'm in Frago, and
How's it going?
Susie Von Slaughter.
Susie Von Slaughter, I haven't seen you in God knows how when.
Yeah, you know, shit happens.
Yeah, I know. Life gets in the way. Oh, hey, Jaime, look, I got my Killer Fix t-shirt on.
Ah, dope,
Nice.
dude. Very nice.
Killer Flicks,
You
great
gotta get-
Facebook group.
Yeah, you got to get your Killer Fix t-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Right.
I think
We got
Melissa
company.
Foley's here.
Oh my God, it let me do it on the tablet, but not on my computer. That's just so stupid. Hello.
Hey,
Sorry. I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Melissa, introduce yourself to the horror show gang.
Oh, hi. I'm Sassy Southern Gamer. I come on your channel sometimes.
I know
guys.
you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. We just woke up.
We're here. That's as best as
Oh.
it gets.
Yeah, that was a fun chat you had with Maddie the other night talking video games. That was cool.
Oh, thank you. Gonna be talking some more games too.
So
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 go ahead.
I'm glad, Susan. I'm glad that you're actually here because one of the top topics I wanted to go over with because I thought I was going to have another woman on. So this is Women in Horror Month, and I actually did a couple of videos. I actually have another video that I got to put up. I saw American Mary over the weekend, so I have that video to put up there, which I thought, of course, because of Catherine Isabel and the Soska sisters. So my thing is with you, Susie Von Slaughter and Melissa, what do you think? Where should women in horror go? Because I know there was a horror movie, an anthology horror movie called XX, but it was very disappointing. I never saw it, but I know it was very disappointing. So I just wanted to get your take. Where do you think women in horror should go next?
well, I think I'm not really good with this question. It's kind of I was expecting the video game question, so I didn't really study on it. So, Susan, what do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of like women alone are kind of batshit crazy, you know. So it's like,
And you put them all in the room and they all hate each other.
Trust, yeah, no, I just had experienced that recently. Oh,
Oh,
so
boy.
anyway,
Well, because right now it's a final girl situation for the most part, or ditzy girl that gets killed off. They're trying to start to expand that, but like, where do you think the most logical next step would be?
I think we need more female crazy like killer kind of situation.
Mhm.
Like May was great because she was so like to herself and nobody expected it, and then she had this fascination with creating the perfect person for her. So no, I think we need more female cynical types.
That's cool.
Yeah, she was crazy, and so was Lola and the Loved Ones too, and that's what I liked about both May and Lola because they were both batshit crazy, especially Lola. She was definitely
Right,
batshit
but it's
crazy.
always the quiet ones you never expect.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, come on, let us rain down what we're really great at and being crazy and actually lopping off someone's dick because
Jesus.
Well, then
I
that,
had
means
to go there.
I did.
that means we need more stuff like teeth, So
Oh, teeth, man. That was a horror movie.
Yeah, Chief with that was way out there.
yeah.
Although some of the men needed to get done what they need to get done on that.
I actually agree with you on that. Yeah, some deserved it.
Yeah, that's a Me Too movement film right there.
Well, I think women actually kill creatively, so I think they
Thank
need
you.
more of that too. So we poison you, we murder you, we just do a lot of different things. So there you go.
No,
Teeth
it's
was
absolutely
gross.
no, absolutely, because we're so methodical. Like if someone pisses us off, it's just like I'm fine.
Hey, what's the old saying?
inside-
No rap like a woman scorned or
It's
whatever.
true, but
so-
inside we
Right.
are ripping you to shreds, and we are like enjoying doing it, and it's very thought out. It's not just like no, it's
Mhm.
we think of everything, everything.
Right? Oh, they just said Audition. Audition's a good movie too. Man.
Audition was wild.
Oh, see, yeah, stuff like that.
And High
Audition was-
Tension.
Very thought out. It's not just like whoop. No, she took the time of making them know that they did wrong, and she's gonna take the time to
Mhm.
just slowly, you know what I mean? Like
And what makes it so bad, and what makes it so bad is she knew what she was doing and she enjoyed it. She got
Exactly.
She got a pleasure of what she was doing too. And I felt sorry for the guy. But
Right?
Psionical Reviews brought up High Tension. I actually really liked High Tension.
I like High Tension
until the ending. The ending was so dumb. Throw all luck out the window.
I actually did not suspect that ending until like midway through the picture when they finally showed the twist.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of understand it, but it kind of for me was like it didn't.
It cheated. It cheated.
I guess you could call it a cheat, but it didn't. I still enjoyed the film.
Yeah, I did too. That's the thing. It cheated, but I still liked it.
So my next thing is for you guys. All right, what do you think about the Cloverfield paradox? Did y'all see it, and what did you think about it?
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it because I'm a huge Cloverfield fan, and
Yeah, so am I.
I put up I did put up a review. While the movie, I still think the movie would have been better had it not been a Cloverfield movie, because then it could have sort of stood up on its own,
which it originally was not.
I mean, quite frankly, the only tie-in was like the last 6 seconds of the movie. I mean, they do a little bit of stuff here and there alluding to it, but that was basically it. Yeah,
because you can see in the beginning part where you see Donald Glover's little intro in there. I said, well, they probably just threw it in there because from what I read of it, it was just supposed to be a movie called God's Particle. It had nothing to do with the Cloverfield picture, but it could obviously at the end of the picture in that part where he throws in that little 5-minute thing in there. Yeah, but to me, it would have been better as just a standalone picture. But my problem with the picture is that even though I understood it, I still have to watch it twice in order to get what they were trying to do.
Oh, that's a shame.
And trust me, and I understand all about the parallel dimensions and multiple dimensions for reading DC and watching The Flash. So I get all that. But unfortunately, they should have just been a standalone movie. But there's a 4th movie coming out in October.
Yep, it's called Overlord, and that one I'm actually excited about. Cecil is not. But.
Which one? Oh, that's the World War II one, right?
Yeah, it's the World War II one, yeah.
Why? God damn it. I don't like war movies that much. Sorry. They're all the same to me.
It's supposed to be about like crazy Nazi experiments, and I'm guessing it's about, them trying to tap into other dimensions and weird energies.
Well, I will say, though, even though it's World War II, if you give me creatures, I'm going to watch any movie. I just hope it's not a World War II movie that they're trying to cram into the Cloverfield universe like they did this. Like if there's just a creature at the very end, that's, for literally 6 seconds, that's going to piss me off.
Yeah. All right, Melissa, you can talk about a video game now.
Well, I was going to actually do like games from like past, present, and future games and stuff. Like, what games do you guys enjoy when you were like a kid, and what like scares you now, and what would scare you in the future? So I was thinking, good choice.
You actually take me back to my NES days. I played Castlevania back in those days, but no video games scared me. No video games scared me. No. I will say this though: when I first played Resident Evil 2, when the liquor comes behind, that did get jumped for me a bit right there. But the video games don't. I guess because I'm so impractical and I've been so inundated and watching horror movies that nothing really scares me at all.
Have you done any of the VR horror yet, Monty?
I did a couple of them. Because I got my Gear VR there. I did a couple of them. They're okay. They're okay.
Wait, the Gear VR, the Samsung VR?
Yeah, the Samsung VR. Because I have a Galaxy.
No, you gotta try like Resident Evil 7 or Until Dawn: Rush of Blood, something like that. Like they're doing some really cool. We're actually playing through Paranormal Activity: Lost Soul. And there are very jumpy moments in these games. So I don't know. I think you should maybe try one of those. I don't know. I feel like the Gear isn't going to be the same caliber of VR. You know what I mean?
What do you think is the best VR out there?
I would probably say the Oculus, but I haven't even tried it. I just like their controllers the most because they have the best sort of VR grip controllers. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing. Gory says he still plays NES.
I do too.
Hey, I do too. Yeah, I got my Wii, I got my Game Boy, I got my Game Boy, I got Nintendo DS, and of course I play computer games on my PC here.
I got my NES on the shelf right next to us.
Yeah, they just mentioned Fatal Frame in VR. That would be just.
That would be pretty damn cool. You know what? I think.
Pretty cool. Yes.
What about Alan Wake in VR?
That would be good too. That would the shadows and everything coming at you. It'd be kind of.
Well, then you use your right controller as your flashlight. You know what I mean? And you can hold your gun with the left one, so you can have independent movement of each. Like that'd be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, they need to make a third Dead Space game and have some VR involved.
I think they did make a third one. They did make a new one.
Yeah. They did make a third one.
A new installment then.
Yeah,
because I only played the first two. I didn't know there was a third.
We should try the Doom VR because that came out, and we should.
That's
it's
really
$20.
good.
I should try. Was it good? It's good, Melissa.
It's very good. It's like comes right at you, and you're like, boom. So it's really good.
That's actually a game that genuinely scared me when I played it. Like when I was older, was Doom 3. Like some of the going through the darkened corridors and everything. It was much more of a horror game than like a run around shoot 'em up. So yeah, Doom 3 was rad.
Fear was a really good shooter combined with horror. They made a number of those also, where there was this little ghost girl Alma, and all of these paramilitary soldiers that you were just plowing through while this little ghost girl was like after you and shit. It was really cool.
That was the Paranormal Activity VR, the one that Marcia did.
It's good. Well, we haven't put up the episode, but everyone will be able to see soon.
There you go.
All right. So my next question for you guys is obviously horror has really risen up because of the success of it at the box office and because of the nominations Get Out got. So my thing is to you guys, do you think Get Out deserved the Oscar nominations? If not, what should have?
I definitely think I'm glad it got the nominations because it is a step towards legitimacy for the horror genre. Because there is not, and I know that the horror genre is legitimate as is. We all know that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the same thing as when superhero movies weren't widely legitimized. You know what I mean?
Not.
This is sort of Get Out could almost be the Iron Man of the horror genre as far as popularizing it across a wider swath of audience than we've had access to before.
Get Out was amazing.
I
loved it.
You know, it was funny because when I first started my YouTube channel and when Get Out came out, it was the first, when I was doing my old scale, it was the first time I actually used 10 out of 10 because that's how much I love Get Out.
It's an original idea.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Wholly
great.
original,
Yeah, so that's what's great about it.
Well,
and
a little bit of Stepford Wives, but yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So anyway, no, it's an original idea, and it did capture kind of people who, again, weren't so much into horror, and everybody went to go see it. You know, and it's great. It captured a new audience, and I thought it was amazing.
I will honestly say for the two pseudo horror films that were nominated for Best Picture, I enjoyed Get Out more than The Shape of Water. So there you go.
Yeah, so because I never saw The Shape of Water, is that supposed to be like sort of like Creature from the Black Lagoon, or it's just a lovey-dovey horror story? I mean, a lovey-dovey story.
Maybe think of mixing them both together.
Yeah. A little from column A, a little from column B.
And very R-rated strangeness. They take it in odd sexual territory, which I was not expecting. So
since it's a creature, it would be Christiality, I guess.
Christiality, okay. No, you actually know within the first couple minutes of that film that you're not necessarily getting what you might have anticipated.
Yeah, it's a very sexualized film.
More so than anything Guillermo has ever done before, and I love his movies. So
yeah, I love him too. Yeah, because I love Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim kind of reminded me of my childhood days watching. I don't know if you guys watched Ultraman or the Space Giants or Johnny Socko, those old Japanese shows back in the day. But that's what Pacific Rim reminded me of those shows back when I was growing up.
Are you excited about the new one? Because I am.
Oh yeah, it looks interesting, and I like the concept. I like I can't the guy from Star Wars. I can't think of his
John
name.
Boyega.
John Boyega.
John Boyega.
He's awesome.
I think he's supposed to be the son of Idris Elba's character. I think he's supposed to be his son. Yeah, so I'm looking forward for Pacific Rim too.
I just like giant monsters. I like monsters of any kind, so I'm down.
Yeah, I
That's
used to
why
play the
love
Ultraman
Cloverfield.
video game. There was one on like maybe the Super Nintendo that I used to rent
Yeah,
constantly.
I remember that. I meant to play that. I meant to play it. Yeah, because when it comes to old school horror and movie shows like that, that's what I grew up upon. Was watching Ultraman and the Space Giants and Johnny Socko. That's what I all grew up on. Melissa, you got any other questions?
No. I'm just waiting for a question from you. It's your show, dude. You go ahead.
Cecil, you have anything you want to ask me about, as far as, how I got started,
Yeah, well, let me first say, since I didn't get a chance to, because these guys came walking in and then we moved on, I did want to say thank you for your kind words about, finding us and how long you've been watching and stuff like that. Because, yeah, I've seen the Horror Miser Monty G commenting for a long time now. And,
as I have too.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it. I did want to make sure I said that. But what let me ask you, as so if we're turning the tables, I'll turn the tables.
Yeah.
What is it as a viewer that attracts you and keeps you coming back to a horror channel? Have there been other horror channels that you've found? Well, this is, I guess, part two. Have there been other horror channels that you've found and have dropped away from, and why? Because maybe a lot of the viewers, you don't need to name them. You don't need to name them, but you can say yes, and here's why. But a lot of these people that are watching are the smaller YouTube channels that are trying to learn. So let's get a viewer perspective. So what do you think? Answer those two right now.
Okay, well, first of all, because my love for horror, I haven't dropped anybody off. Everyone has their own style and what they do and how they present themselves. I saw y'all guys first, and y'all did an excellent job. We really love the fact that you had two women, Susie and Marsha on there. And it's like, wow, women love horror. Because, at the point when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of women that love horror. And when I got exposed to this, I saw you two. Then all of a sudden from Bloodbath Beyond, I saw Emma from Spooky Astronauts. And they led me over to Gory B and Danny from Horror Addicts TV. And I saw, wow, all these women love horror. So none of them, I haven't really dropped off anybody. It's just my simple love of the genre. And John, yeah, and I haven't dropped off anyone. Everyone is, as far as I is concerned, and what I expect out of a YouTuber, I expect them to be honest. Give their thoughts about what they liked or didn't like about the film. But honesty, it goes a great way, whether I agree with them or disagree with them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because I'm seeing that there was this horror mafia of sorts that existed beyond us. I feel like we were on an island for a while, just doing our thing and not really interacting with all these other channels that have been acquainted for a long time. So in the past few, like maybe 6-8 months, is when I've become more aware of all of our contemporaries and people that I respect a lot now. So.
Well, when Monty. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
yeah, Queenie Tops telling me to preach on. Oh, yes, I'll preach on all day when it comes to horror.
Do it, man.
But I was going to say, Monty, what about the other question? What kind of horror content attracts you and keeps you coming back? Are there any, like, because again, we're a variety show. You're not going to hurt our feelings. We do so many different types of things. What is it that brings you back, not to us, but to other people and stuff like that? What kind of horror videos do you like yourself? Just, your opinion.
Let's see. With Horror Addicts TV, I like Danny and Gory B's, how they interact with each other, whether they're doing videos together or by themselves. I love how Gory and her son Lowe's, how they interact on their videos. Obviously, with put it this way, with Casey, the homicidal homemaker. I love her videos because how she instills cooking with horror. Queenie Todd, I love her style. She's a new one. I like her style. It's just having that particular variety where I don't have to get, why I can watch you guys. I can watch Bloodbath Beyond. I can watch Vicky from Nightmare Maven. I can watch Emma. It doesn't matter. I can watch Dino and the Late Late Show because he and I have an affinity for old school horror. It really doesn't matter for me because I have a big variety on my plate and I got this huge imagination. So it just like anything I like, I know I'm going to like it, but it's because one, they're talking about horror.
It's funny the way you were describing that. I was picturing like a menu where like a maitre d' would be like, yes, would you like some husband and wife reviews with the occasional Law's son, or would you like a little bit of horror cooking, or horror infused cooking today, or like it's just showing you all these different. That's kind of a cool way to think of it. You really do have a lot of different options when it comes to that.
Oh yeah. Before I begin, I will have to, because I don't know if you guys know about this, because I see my boy Reverend Hagen is on the What You Going right here, and I got to talk about Scream Radio. Do you guys know about Scream Radio?
I personally do not.
All right. Scream Radio is a 24-hour internet radio broadcast that broadcasts horror stories 24/7. It is run by it is run by my good friend Tracy. I should have left the link below, but it's scrmradio.com. You guys have to listen to it because they have some great narrators. Reverend Hagen is one of them. Auntie Creeps is another one. They are such great, and trust me, you will definitely love listen to this radio. You got to listen to it. I had to plug it, guys. I know Reverend Hagen.
I've been hearing about it because of the channel crawl. I had no idea about that until I started seeing a lot of people talk about it, and I want to go check out some more of it because I mean, before I even knew about it, we just recently started doing Startling Storytime where I'm reading it's like The Hellbound Heart. We've got the second episode coming up soon, so
it's like audiobook style.
Yeah, it's like narration. Yeah,
okay. It's narration. They tell creepypasta stories. Like Reverend Hagen, he does his bit. He'll does his off the beaten path. Auntie Creep, she'll tell some nice stories, horror stories. They got the Gothic Librarian. Mr. Creepy Pasta, Mr. Black Pasta. Yeah, they simply just love that show.
Heck yeah. I am quite curious because I love audiobooks at this point. Since I've read everything Stephen King at this point, I've found myself going back to his old stuff and listening to audiobooks and rediscovering certain aspects. And Stephen King is a big proponent of audiobooks. He's like, sometimes when you're reading, you can zone out or whatever, but when
it's amazing because I actually listened to the audiobook. I think Christine, he has an audiobook of Christine, right?
Yep, he does.
Yeah, I'm actually that. Yeah, that was great because I read the book and listening to audio was great.
Yeah, that's about to see a anniversary later this year. I'm going to be rereading that in April for Hail to Stephen King. I'm excited. So
Melissa.
Yes.
You don't want to leave you out right here. I know you're not really into horror, but what have you really? What do you think about horror? What's the latest horror picture have you seen? Or did you see? Let me ask you this: did you see The Ritual?
Oh, that's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes.
No,
just one up.
But it's on my list to watch. I actually have Happy Death Day that I rented from Redbox, and I watched it with my niece and nephew yesterday, and they loved it. They thought it was great. My niece got scared of the clown, but it was still good. But yeah, I watch a lot of different stuff like Psycho, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, but I love Silence of the Lambs, so it's one of my favorites. So
did y'all guys watch The Ritual? The Ritual?
Not yet. No, I've been wanting to, but I've been having some stuff going on that's been preventing me from watching stuff. Hopefully, I'll have some more time in the very near future.
Yep, that was a very good movie. I loved it. It was a different take on the cabin in the woods thing. I didn't like the ending. Ending was a little flat, but I still enjoyed the movie. I think you guys would love it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's when we did a trailer reaction to, and we were both excited.
Yeah, I saw the trailer reaction. Yeah,
we heard there was a creature in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm trying to learn how to do, but not get copyright strikes. Because believe it or not, I actually got my first copyright strike about 2 weeks ago for a video.
Me too.
You got a strike or you got a notice?
I got a copyright. I got a strike.
Oh wow!
It was a video that I put up 5 years ago, even before I created this channel. It was a video I put up when I was on vacation in Bermuda, and I guess because of the music in the background, it was some girl did a limbo dance. I put that video up, back before I changed my channel name to the Horror Miser. And next thing I know, I'm like, what copyright? What the hell? I said I don't do. So I'm trying to be careful when I do, because that's why I haven't done trailer reaction videos yet, because I don't want to get hit with copyright strikes. So I was going to ask y'all, how do y'all do y'all video reaction?
Well, we get hit with copyright notices all the time. It's just then you just have to adjust. Here's the thing: there's a couple of really bad ones. Universal's horrible. Fox is horrible. But there's a lot of those smaller movies we do reactions to that just don't care. They like that kind of stuff out there. So we basically do all the reactions. If we get hit, then we have to chop out the footage and just overlay the poster instead. But now we're prepared to do that. So we might have to re-upload. Like we had to re-upload our Jurassic World trailer 2, or Jurassic World 2 trailer 2. We had to re-upload that 3 times because we kept getting hit. Finally, I just took all the footage out, and we're okay. So copyright notices aren't the bad thing. It's weird to me that you didn't get a notice before you got hit with the strike, because
it's probably because all the blast emails that I get and I ignore it. So they probably noticed that. I probably got the notices and I said, "What the hell?" I just like that. I said, "F it," and just do it away. And next thing you know, I happen to take a look, and you got a copyright strike. I'll say, "Wait a minute," because I'm taking it something I did for my channel, not for something I put up 5 years ago.
No, we had at one point about 50 copyright notices, because I didn't know what it meant. It was before we monetized, and then when I tried to monetize, I'm like, why can't we monetize? And it's like, dumbass, you have 50 copyright notices. You know, you can't do that.
I remember when that happened. We're like, what are we gonna do? And it was crazy.
But that's that was a lesson learned that could be imparted to these younger YouTubers. Pay attention to your copyright notices tab. It's not there if you don't have any problems. Like, you won't see it in the videos drop down if there's no copyright notices. If you see it, check why and fix it, because you don't want to risk. Like, we at one point, there was one that I ignored because I was like, no way. And it was when I was trying to figure out the whole copyright thing. And that turned into a strike, and it ended up being because it was a filmmaker that was trying to get back at us for our trailer reaction. And then,
is that the one we didn't like?
Yeah.
Oh, and they
no, not that one. Not that one. It was a different. Well,
fuck them anyway.
No, not that. But then the other, we got another one, and so I was like, suddenly we had 2 copyright strikes, like one more, and we could lose the channel. And at that point, we had like 1,500 videos. Yeah. We're up over 1,800 now. But
it was back in like August, right? If I remember.
Yeah. And so it was pretty nerve-wracking, but they fall off after 90 days. So just, stay in line, and then you're good after that and stuff like that. So
I just have a question. They said something about if you have less than 1,000 subs. So what is that whole thing? Are they going to get rid of the smaller pages, or?
No, you won't be part of the partner program.
Yeah, you won't be part of their partner program. Yes, because right now my watch time is fine. Right now, mainly because of all the live streams that we've done, and what Emma did earlier with the Save Hard 2, with that, so my watch time is fine. But my subscriptions has actually probably going up. I think I'm up to 430 right now.
Yeah, that was a good point Glory made last night during our stream, is that live streams of the lengthy variety are really good for building watch time. And I thought that was a really good just bit of advice for newer channels or upstarts or whatever. So
I can't do anything. I'm on strike, so oh well. I can't do anything until March 31st. So
see, that's the weird thing to me. That happened to the Death Twitch too. Yep. But he got a community copyright strike.
Which is
so
different,
that's different, because when we had 2 copyright strikes, that's when we actually started streaming. Like, I don't know how we were allowed to stream. I guess the rules must have changed since we dealt with the strikes, but That's a bummer. The fact, like, if we got one now, we wouldn't be able to stream. Like, streaming is a huge part of our channel now.
Yeah, no, because I actually caught a couple of your live streams, and that was excellent. And I said, man, I hope they don't mess. That's one of the things I really want to start doing is doing live streams now.
Dino, that was a hell of a miskey. Sorry, sorry, Monty. Go ahead. He said
okay.
blue fuego, but he meant bless you.
Whoa. Sorry about that. So I was trying to say bless you, not the other one.
Mess up.
Totally different
I thought we got an admission
no,
on the channel today. All right, sorry, Monty. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, because one of the things I wanted to do was when I first started, I wanted to build my subscription rate up. And then now since I'm really blowing up now, I can start doing some other things like do live streams now. And that's one of the things I'm gonna probably start doing maybe next month, depending on how my schedule is. Because unfortunately, like I said, I don't get paid to do this. This is a hobby. I enjoy what I do, but I actually have to have the time and the schedule in order to do this.
Yeah, well, we know how that goes. None of us get paid either. I mean, we barely started monetizing the channel, and as of right now, it just kind of covers the costs, the overhead of, because I got to pay like $50 a month for the podcast, and then, just a random overhead. So we're not making enough to really like say we're making money yet, and we're just starting our 5th year. So it's like, don't expect to be able to make money right away.
Yeah, I knew that coming in. Because when I told my wife this is what I wanted to do, she says, "Well, you're going to make money. Are you going to make any money off of this?" So of course I laughed. I was like,
Well, it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about communicating with the fans and getting horror stuff out there, not making money. Money comes later.
It does. It doesn't need to be about it, but there's nothing wrong with striving for it.
I'll take some money. Shit. If anybody wants to give me some money, go ahead. I'll take some money. I will not turn down money, honey. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, nobody's not going to turn down any money, because when I first got to my 100 subscribers and 10,000 views, I was like happy. Wow, I said I can finally monetize. Not that I was expecting a lot anyway, but I just it was a great first, because I did 100. Because when I first started, I said I'll get just like 50 subscribers within a year, and the fact that I got to 100 in less than 7 months, I said, wow, that was great. And now here I am a little over a year later, and I'm up to almost close to 450. So I said, wow, that's great.
It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. Yeah.
Especially with, horror, because, our audience is automatically smaller than, a lot of the other channels, the unboxings, the toys, your PewDiePies, your Markipliers, all that stuff.
Toys especially. I was looking at some of the Toy Fair stuff that they unveiled in the last couple days, and there's some crazy cool stuff there.
They finally put Kingdom Hearts out. Thank God. I know it's not horror, but they finally put Kingdom Hearts out. I know, but I'm excited. Thank God. Kingdom Hearts is finally coming out, so I'll shut up.
So I have a question for Monty then, to steer the discussion in a certain direction. So since I'm not as familiar with your taste in horror, man, what is maybe your favorite like subgenre of horror, whether it's creature or whatever, and what is your least favorite, the one that you typically avoid, as far as whether it's like, I don't know, paranormal or slasher or something like that?
Porn.
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot. I can tell you right now, I love all horror. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter if it's creatures, vampires, werewolves, supernatural, zombies. I love all horror. All horror. It doesn't matter to me.
So there isn't like a go-to then, so to speak.
No, not a real go-to. I just love all horror. I know that people are kind of dead on the zombie, probably because of The Walking Dead. The people are tired of the zombies. Having a hard time to pronounce words. The zombie genre, because a lot of people are down on The Walking Dead, and we've seen enough. I don't know. Did you guys see the latest Dawn of the Dead Bloodline movie?
We didn't see the movie, but we did like the trailer that we saw.
Yeah, it's on Redbox now. I noticed the other day. I think it came out like a week ago. So.
Well, and we saw the trailer. Did you watch the trailer for that? What was it called with Ellen Page, or not Ellen Page?
Yeah, I was with you.
It's Ellen Page. It's called. I think it's called Uncured.
Or no, it's The Cured.
The Cured.
Yeah, The Cured. Yeah, The Cured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that concept. I actually like that concept. It reminds me of a British TV show that dealt with the same thing about the aftermath of a zombie apocalypse.
That In the Flesh, right?
Yeah, in the flesh. Yeah, it's supposed to be all cured, and all of a sudden now, you're hearing this, you're seeing the aftermath. So I thought that was interesting.
That looks way better than In the Flesh to me. In the Flesh, I did watch it, and it was just too damn slow for me. It was a zombie soap opera essentially. It was all drama all the time, and like very little zombie action. So it was a huge bummer.
I'm glad because I actually went to. They actually showed it here on BBC America. I was thinking about watching it because I love the premise, but I didn't hear anybody talk about it. I like, well,
there's a reason for that.
Yeah. I didn't hear anybody talk about it because I wanted to see at least somebody do a review on it, but I didn't see any reviews on YouTube. I didn't see any reviews online. So it must suck. So I said, oh, well, I guess I won't watch it.
Yeah, the last zombie flick that I saw that I thought did something very intriguingly different was last year, The Girl with All the Gifts. That was an awesome film, and I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it.
Marsha Parker disagrees.
No, I saw it. I actually did a review.
I didn't like it either.
Oh. I was about to say the same thing, Susie.
Didn't like it.
It just didn't. I was waiting for something good to happen, and nothing good happened. I just, not saying it was a bad film. I just didn't think it was good.
It was more on the dramatic side of things. There, I will definitely agree with you. It wasn't as much about the carnage, so to speak. So,
not that I was, because like I said, I don't look for gore and guts hanging out and all the other stuff when it comes to zombies. I did like the girl. I like the concept.
She did a tremendous job, I thought.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I just didn't think the movie was that good.
Yeah, the relationship between her and the teacher, I was intrigued by, especially spoilers, the way they turned the tables in the ending. I thought was cool, and that stuck with me. So,
just a quick shout out to Reverend Hagen, super studded about seeing the horror show, and Sassy Southern Gamer Melissa. He says never saw your shows before, so that's cool. I love how even see Monty. We just crossed 18,000 subscribers yesterday, and we're finding new people by being on your show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because that's why. Because there's another horror tuber called Emily's Horrors in Adventureland, and she does an amazing job with her videos.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I went and subbed her too. I was like, wow.
So I told people on Twitter and everyone else, please go sub her channel because she deserves more subscriptions than she has right now because she does an amazing job on her channels.
There was another question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Melissa.
Oh no, I was just saying. I agree with you.
B-Side Records, Beth S on her channel says, curious about your favorite horror soundtrack. What's yours, Monty?
Oh, I have plenty. Oh man. Let's see. You got not Evil Dead. Dream Warriors. But I believe the best soundtrack has to be I think almost all the Underworld movies because I actually have them on my playlist.
Oh, that's right, because we're going soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, you mean so you're talking about soundtrack, not score, then, right? Okay,
yeah,
so
Beth, scores. Okay.
Well, I guess we should clarify with Beth what she meant. So let's just do both.
Yeah. As far as score is concerned,
can't go wrong with Halloween.
There's so many good scores. You got Halloween, you got Jaws, you got Friday the 13th.
You know what?
I like Puppet Master, honestly. I think Puppet Master is really good, and I'm a big fan of the Phantasm score. I think the Phantasm score is very, very distinctive.
I of course have to say Nightmare on Elm Street, but outside of that, I actually gravitate towards some of the more lesser known scores. Like I think the score of Let the Right One In is one of the most beautiful, haunting, fucking.
It's a great movie
scores ever. I actually love the score for 1 Hour Photo, even though it's not quite a horror movie. It's got that same sort of
scary enough.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some really good lesser known scores out there that are just so worth investigating.
Yeah. Auntie Creeps, how you doing, Auntie Creeps? Sorry, that's another one from Spring Radio. I had to give her a shout out.
The bearded slasher.
I was going to ask you guys, do you consider like thriller, suspense? Do you consider those horror or?
I think it's close enough.
It's close enough that we cover it. I don't call it horror, but it is close. We're like we always say, hey, there's death. It's close enough. But there are certain things that it needs to have in order for me to classify it as horror.
Yeah, because I can't think of any thrillers right off the top of my head right now. Yeah, it depends upon what's going on with the
Right.
movie itself. Because I think some people like, I think The Girl on the Train. Some people like crisscross about that, but I consider that more of a thriller than a horror.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a thriller.
What do you think, Susie?
No, I think it like Monty was saying, it depends kind of on the context of it, like what's going on and stuff. Because like, what's that movie with Liam Neeson? Her daughter gets taken.
And the guy and the daughter- That's probably why. That's literally probably why they named it that. They're like, people are going to be trying to remember this movie later, and how are they going
Like
to do it?
all his movies are like that.
It's taken. Oh, that's right.
See that, like that's a thriller, but that I wouldn't consider a horror movie.
Yes, that was more of a thriller.
Yeah, and I mean, I would point to something like David Fincher's The Game, for
Or
instance.
Zodiac, even.
You know,
Mhm.
or even the remake of Dial M for Murder. It was called A Perfect Murder. It had Gwyneth Paltrow, Michael Douglas again, Viggo Mortensen. Tremendous film.
Oh, yeah, I love
more on the thriller side of things, though. It's not a horror movie, obviously. So.
Yeah, and since you got any more questions for me?
I mean, geez, I can always think of some. So okay, let's how about, well, see, the thing is, you're so like, I can't narrow down the questions as easily because you like a lot of different stuff. So like, if you don't have a particular subgenre that you go for or anything like that,
Yeah.
I was trying to like maybe gear towards, you know, what are some of your favorite, like you could go through like your creature movie. What's one that comes to mind? You know, torture porn you're okay with, ghost movie you're okay with, found footage you're okay with. Found footage alone is let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on found footage? Because that's a very polarizing thing.
It's
Found footage.
controversial.
See, here we go.
Yeah.
I hit on something.
Here's my thing on found footage, and I don't knock it, but it has to be done right to engage the audience and not insult their intelligence.
Totally.
That's what I have on found footage. Oh, Gory wants to know when's my next rant video coming out.
Oh, Lord. That's like every video. That's like every video.
Because it's funny because they did a whole series on some Krampus ripoff movies during the Christmas holidays. And I just said, where are all these goddamn Krampus movies coming out from? Because obviously they're taking advantage of Krampus.
What was the one that Dave worked on? Krampus, the Awakener, the
Krampus Unleashed,
No,
Mother
the Reckoning?
Krampus.
I can't remember. It's okay.
So,
I'm sure he doesn't.
So
it's not worth
out there.
mentioning.
so I asked Dan, I said, hey, you want me to do a rant video? And he said, sure, go for it. I said, well, I should do a rant video. And Dan said, go for it. So I did it. And they loved it. I got a lot of views for that. And of course, you know, I did my YouTube rant video on monetization, and that did so well that I actually got asked to do a podcast on Morphy Beautiful's podcast. Me and Vicky from Nightmare Maven, we did a podcast on YouTube about a month ago. So so they wanted to know when my next main video. But to get back on found footage, like I said, it all depends upon, you know, the content, making sure you don't fool your audience or insult their intelligence. Because when it's like with the Paranormal Activities, the first one was good, the second one was okay, but the rest sucked, especially the last one.
But see, that there have been so many at this point that I now feel I have an arsenal of ones I can throw out that are really good examples of it. I think
succeeding,
of found footage succeeding.
The Bay. I still
the
point
Bay
to
is
the Bay.
tremendous.
The Bay is
That's one of our earliest
really
reviews.
I did not see the Bay yet.
Afflicted is one of my favorite ones because
Afflicted. I said that's great. Now, see, that's found footage done right.
Exactly. I mean, a found footage guy transforming into a vampire movie. It's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then another great one is Evidence, that stars Stephen Moyer from True Blood. That one is actually a mixture of found footage and regular. Another one of those is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Both of the Creep movies are great.
Yeah, I mean, the Evidence, though, it's so cool. The setup is there is a crime scene. It kind of like flies into this crime scene the way Swordfish starts. how
Mhm.
everything is frozen and all that stuff while the camera moves around this crime scene,
Sword
just
Fish
as
with
it's
Hugh
in the middle
Jackman.
of an explosion kind of thing. And then the police show up, and it's the regular movie. The police show up, and they see all this carnage and everything, and they find the camera stuff. Literally, they find the footage. It's one of the only movies that shows that. And then they take it back, and they are all reviewing the footage. And so there's the parts where they're actually, where it cuts, the movie cuts back to them reviewing the footage. They're doing dolly shots and all this shit, like professional film techniques. And then when they go into the footage that they're reviewing, it goes to found footage. And it's such a successful blending of the two that I don't think enough people know about it.
And that's where you have to be innovative in the blending aspect, in my opinion, at least.
I don't know if you guys saw this or not. As above, so below. That was similar, because it was a combination of found footage and movie aspect. I thought that was pretty good too.
I even thought the pyramid wasn't that.
Yeah, the pyramid was actually better than I thought too. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm not saying it's a good movie. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Fun with it, yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of because I saw the pyramid, and I said, "Oh God, here we go again." But you can make jokes about it and laugh at it. But that found, like I said, because I don't know if you guys saw found footage 3D.
Yeah, we did at the Phoenix Film Festival last year.
But we didn't get to see it in 3D,
unfortunately.
Trust me, you did not miss anything in 3D.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't really miss anything. I really don't know what they were attempting to do. I think they were trying to do some type of gimmick with the found footage. That's why they probably did it in found 3D. Nothing really happened until the end. To be honest.
Have you seen, Monty, have you seen Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon?
No, I have not seen that yet.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
That's what I missed. I haven't seen everything.
Had you heard of it though?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay.
But I have not seen it.
Yeah, definitely watch it, dude. It's so good. Everyone keeps talking about it. Horror Addict says it was a great blend of found footage and movie style. Yep, that's what I was mentioning earlier. Rev Hagen says he loves it too. So like, there's a reason it's got such a following. It's such a clever idea. It's almost a little bit, I guess you could kind of say that Creep 2 aped a little bit of it because you know, the movie, if you don't know, is about a documentary crew, an independent documentary crew that gets wind of this guy that claims to be a slasher, a serial killer. And he invites them out and guarantees their safety in order to have them film him and go over what he does. And the whole movie is a deconstruction of the 80s slasher horror movies. He talks about how he's like training when they're filming him, and he's like, man, you got to keep in shape because you got to be able to move faster than them running, but look like you're walking. Like it's such an awesome film. If you guys haven't seen it, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah, because I heard a lot of people talk good about it. Creep and Creep 2 had to talk about that.
Yeah, I like Creep 2 more than Creep 1, actually.
I did as well. Yeah.
Because one of the things a lot of people ask me, as far as, you know, especially old school horror, they ask me, why do I love old school horror? And it's because I tell them, I says, I grew up on it. Because as a child, when I was little, I found horror pictures funny. It didn't scare me at all. When I first saw The Exorcist, because when I was like maybe 11 or 12 when The Exorcist first came out, my mother would not let me see it because she thought I was too young. It would be too horrible. But I saw it anyway. I did a sneak job, and it was creepy. And Reagan's head turning was creepy for a 13-year-old kid to see it. But I laughed at it, especially the scene when she's jumping off top of the bed. I thought it was funny. I had a morbid sense of humor back then, and I have a morbid sense of humor back now. Because people also ask me, was there a horror movie that ever scared you? I said, no. I said, did there ever horror ever affected you in life? I said, no. I said, but however, Jaws did affect me.
Jaws messed everybody up, myself included.
I say this because I says it didn't scare me, but I refuse to swim in oceans. I will not swim in the oceans. And you're talking about a guy that's been on 9 cruises. But I refuse to ever swim in the ocean because sharks are real. They're in the ocean and they bite you.
They'll do more than that if they can.
Yeah. And not to call out Spooky Astronaut, but Australia's got like the most dangerous oceans in the world. And so
Australia is the most dangerous land in the world. Everything there wants to kill you. Literally everything wants to kill you.
Not to talk back, because I would love to go to Australia. I told Emma and a friend of mine, Adele from Road Credit. She's from Australia too. I said I would like to come there, but I'm not swimming in your oceans.
There's sea snakes, there's box jellyfish, there's saltwater crocodile, and all kinds of stuff, man. It's nuts over there.
So, Melissa, what horror movie did you ever saw that scared you?
Nightmare on Elm Street. When I was 8 years old.
Oh, you're 8. See, this is the problem. See, I had the advantage. I was like in my 20s when that came out. It was like when Friday the 13th came out. I was like 17 or 18 years old when that came out. See, another advantage that I have is that I actually saw some of these movies like Carrie and Friday the 13th and the Sleepaway Camp. I was already old enough to see it in the movies, so I was telling a couple of my friends of mine that I actually saw the audience reactions when Carrie went at the end of Carrie when her hand comes out of the ground and the whole audience went nuts. So I have to take advantage of seeing those actually in the movie theaters themselves.
Well, when I was a kid, my brother found out that I was afraid of Freddy Krueger, so he dressed up as Freddy Krueger when I was sleeping and put the claw right in my face and scared the crap out of me when I was a baby. Well, like not a baby, but like I was 8. And I swear I screamed bloody murder, and my dad came into the room with his shotgun and literally almost killed my brother because he thought he was trying to murder me. So
that's such a nice story.
Very endearing.
That was terrible. Hey,
I kind of like Freddy now. I think he's kind of creative in his kills. So
oh, he absolutely is. That's what makes him, in my opinion, the best 80s slashers, because you got to have so much fun.
By a large margin. He has the most personality. Everyone else is just stoic and silent, except for maybe Leatherface.
I think that's the reason why Freddy's my favorite horror character.
Nice.
Right.
It's a good choice.
All right, listen, I got 5 minutes left before we move over to the next guy on the crawl. His name is Phil, better known as PMR Bonez88. He'll be going next on the crawl. So first, I obviously want to thank you guys, Cecil, Susan, and Jaime for coming on my channel. Really appreciate it, guys, because you guys are the best. You're the first persons that I watch when I started watching horror. So I really appreciate you guys coming on my channel.
Oh, pleasure, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Melissa, why don't you talk about what's coming up next on your channel?
Well, when my restriction is lifted, my first game that I'm going to be playing is Agony for the PlayStation. So, yeah. So, or Shadow of the Colossus, either one. But Agony I want to play because it looks really freaky and creepy, and so I'm going to be playing that.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and Monty, if it's okay, I'm just gonna say I gotta check with Gory and stuff because I don't. Normally we do the news with booze on Sundays. It might be a boozeless news day today, but I don't want to compete with the crawl either. So I don't know. I might have to tape and put it up later. So yeah, that'll be coming up. The news as usual. But yeah, as usual for us, we do 2 episodes every single day. So yeah, just look forward to that from us.
Yeah, what I have coming up is I have to get my review up of American Mary up for my women in horror. That's what I'm doing. I should be doing an unboxing video because I will be I subscribe to Horror Pack, so I have an unboxing video coming up. And of course, whatever horror movies I'll be watching over the weekend, that'll be up too. And hopefully I'll start doing live streaming maybe next month or April. I want to get that started before I leave because I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Rome, but me and my wife going to Rome in May.
Oh man, envious, yo! It's awesome.
I want to go. Shit.
All right, let me get the outro out. Let me get the outro video out so everyone knows where to go to next. And once again, I really appreciate you guys for coming on.
Yes,
thank you again.
Right, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Hopefully this works.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me be on your channel.
This is Jay West Mangy from Streaming Channel's #1 animated horror.
There we all are.
24-hour news. We know the trials and tribulations of getting a YouTube channel up and running, and how it's even tougher to get clean. Recently, YouTube's made it even more difficult with new rules saying any channel with fewer than 1,000 subscribers and less than 4,000 hours of view time for the past year can't monetize the videos. This not only prevents the channel from making any money from this effort, but impacts the potential for being distributed on YouTube for viewers to discover and become fans.
That's why the HorrorTube community has come together, resulting in this 24-hour marathon organized by the Horror Addict. Every hour, a different YouTube channel continues a live broadcast, helping raise awareness for other horror-related channels at risk for not meeting these new requirements. We encourage you to help HorrorTubers in need of support by clicking those subscription buttons, watching their videos, and raising their viewing time. Visit HorrorAddictsTV.com for the full marathon schedule with links to each YouTube channel ready to go live for your screaming support.
Now don't y'all go nowhere. This tag rodeo is just getting started. Click the link and follow this live stream and hoedown to the next exciting channel.
Next in the marathon, we have PMR Bonez88.
There, I had to put that to take off so it wouldn't be any back feed.
Gotcha.
Back feed. So once again, I appreciate you. I know y'all guys do an outro. I actually do an outro myself too. So I don't know if y'all want to do an outro or not.
Sure. I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Von Slaughter.
Gracias, I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember,
Stay scared.
And I'm the horror miser. Oh boy, messed it up. Let's try it again. And my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Do you have an outro, Melissa? Oh, looks like you dropped off.
Yep, that was her outro.
She's probably playing the game already. So.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate y'all guys. Thank you very much. But looking forward for your next videos. And once again, I got a link for PBR Bones in the description below if you want to head over to his channel.
Thanks, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right.
Later.
Peace.
Later.